Welcome back to Command West, the Commanders podcast, where we tackle the latest Washington football team news and answer the hard-hitting questions like, by next week, will we still have a football team? We'll start with a request to like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe our channel. And don't forget to comment. I'm one of your hosts, Bradley Roach.
Hey, what's up? I'm Tico Wells.
I'm Eddie P.
And I'm Donnie Roach.
And we have a football game to talk about, gentlemen.
Yes, we do.
2-1.
Right on.
Win against the Las
Vegas.
Hey,
we had a couple of people who were at the game. I think Bradley and Donnie, the Roach family. Tell us a little bit about what was that like?
We were fortunate and blessed enough and privileged enough to go make the trip out to DC or Landover, if you will.
Yeah. The Roach family was represented, was well represented. So, because I came out from LA, Bradley comes from Oregon, but that's where my family is. So I had sisters there, I had a brother there, I had a couple of nephews and a niece, and it was a big old crowd. We had a couple of rows, back to back, and we were going nuts.
We put Commanders fans in seats is what we did.
Yes, we did.
We put hometown butts in seats.
Drive up in a Roach coach.
Nice. We did actually meet some Raiders fans there, and they were representing, but leaving the game sad, which is what we wanted.
Yeah, that's right.
We did some tailgating, which was so much fun. I mean, it was so much fun to spend that time with more Commanders fans, and I hadn't seen that many Commanders fans in one place in my whole life because I've never been to a home game. So that was really fun.
Last time I was at a home game, it was RFK Stadium. So I've never been to Northwest Stadium now.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I've never been before. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
How be on my bucket list too. I never went to.
You guys got to go because we only got a few.
They're tearing it down.
Few years left.
I've been
at Northwest.
I've been to RFK. I've been to Northwest.
Yeah, probably why.
Yeah.
The artist formerly known as FedEx Field.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, so we had a Raiders game and we won 41-24 with our amazing backup quarterback, Marcus Mariota, who since last year has been, I would say, reborn,
Yeah. This is a bit of a revenge game for him as well because he was formerly an Oakland Raider.
Yep. He's done everything we've asked of him and then some. You can't ask more from a backup quarterback.
No question.
Him coming in for 2.5 games and winning all 3 is I mean, he's 3-0 as a Commander.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which is pretty incredible.
That's right. Now he and rightly as it should be, had a lot of great support from every aspect of a lot of different players, stepped up in Sunday's game. That was a nice, what does DQ call it? Complimentary football. Yeah. It was complimentary football.
So what do we want to talk about first? Offense? Let's start with the offense.
Well, started off with the guy named Debo.
Very first play of the game.
Definitely.
First play of the game. So I think it's apropos that we talk about Debo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Debo,
sure.
I mean, he almost broke it. He
almost broke it
on the
second time too.
And he just all the other receivers we've ever had were like right here to Terry, like hovering somewhere here, interchangeable. All of a sudden, Debo comes in, it's like bing.
Yeah, I was thinking about it on my way home, Tico, because I was like, people were hating on that trade. People were saying Debo's slow, Debo's fat, Debo isn't Debo anymore. And I'm like, I didn't believe it then, but you know how all the talk and the chatter.
Yeah.
Like if Debo is literally just a guy that is the number 2, but like doesn't, this guy has come in and shut up all the haters.
Yeah.
And then some, right? Like he's been our best player on the team so far this season.
Seems like the one that's playing with the most fire.
Yeah.
Like talk about igniting the first play. That was
he has been Debo. I mean, he has made play after play where it's best described as that was very Debo-esque. It's just like
right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's been really awesome.
You know, when we were talking about Brian Robinson last week, and now that I think about it, they got Brian Robinson, we got Debo.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did great on that one.
I agree.
Thank you.
I agree. Great on that.
And a pick swap, and that we weren't expecting that. But so I want to talk about the offense, and first I want to shout out Eddie, because I just listened to the last week's podcast.
Oh yeah.
And listening to it after this game was interesting because Eddie had a game plan. And Eddie's game plan is exactly what we did.
Yeah.
He said Marcus Mariota is Jaden Daniels with a little less electricity and youth.
Right.
And that's exactly what we saw from Marcus Mariota.
That's so true.
He did cut a couple of good 20-yarders, though. He had some runs.
And Eddie even said, I think they're going to run Marcus Mariota. And Dad, you were like, no, I don't think so. And they did. And then Eddie said, they're all going to be all the running backs are going to be fighting for the number one running back position. And they all were.
That was very true.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It was like, listening to that was funny. So I just want to shout you out, Eddie, because you had a game plan, and it was get Terry involved, which they did, and he was robbed of a touchdown.
He was robbed. He was robbed, man.
And injured himself on the play.
He did not hit the ground.
Yeah. What he got that ball from our star player.
You know, that's what I don't understand. Come on, y'all got these instant replays. I know. Everybody at home can see it. What are y'all watching?
Yeah. And they still get it wrong, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
come on.
What was the whole point of going and doing the review in the booth?
I do want to talk about that play though, because that was one of the I almost got choked up. Not gonna lie, at the stadium, the Terry chants were so loud.
Yeah. What? Tell us about
it. It was incredible because that was his first big play of the season, right?
Yeah.
And he just got all this money. The fans, love Terry, and there was a lot of off-season stuff with Terry.
Yeah. Yep.
People were unhappy with him. People were unhappy with the organization. It all came together, and he started off the season a little slow, and this was his first big play. And the Terry chants, he was on the field. You could see the emotion. The players, Mikey Sanders still was hyping up the crowd. You see Jaden on the sideline getting everybody lit because they're doing the instant replay. But he does this celebration, and it was just like you get this emotion because it's just it's so loud, you guys. Terry, it was amazing. It was so. And then the touchdowns ripped from him, and it's like,
right?
That was terrible. That was terrible.
It is because I remember saying towards the beginning of last year, Terry was making some big catches, but not getting into the end zone. And I'm like, I love the big plays to Terry. God, I wish he could get into the end zone. Like I was kind of putting it on him. Can he give it a little extra effort? And man, he gave it all the effort. And we know he got in, I mean, they might have taken it away from him, but he made that effort and he got in. And it was,
hey, what if they had a rule where if after the game, it was determined that they made a mistake, that they'd have to go back and correct it. So I don't know. That'd be a lot.
But we got the touchdown anyway.
We got the
touchdown on that, didn't he?
Would have really sucked if we didn't know.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That game was a little closer than we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
So the offense as a whole, I was really impressed with the run game.
Absolutely.
So watching all three running backs really all three of them were very successful. Chris Rodriguez started the game, which again, Eddie was right about as RB1.
Right. Which I think I also opposed him on.
Yes, you did. And was very successful right off the bat. Bill then comes in, and I turned to Dad and I said, he looks so fast. And because he's in the backfield making cuts and getting more yards, and you think, oh, that's going to be a 1 or 2 yard play, and it's a 4 or 5 yard play. And it's like, dang, he's quick. And then of course Jeremy McNichols with the play of the weekend.
God, the 60-yarder.
60-yarder, but he has throwing dudes off of him at 2 yards. 2 guys he throws off of him. A familiar face in Jeremy Chin, who did this he did this against Saquon Barkley, gets thrown off, but this time it's
it's our guy.
It's our guy.
It's the good guy this time.
And then you see that speed, and I was like, damn, J-Mac.
We didn't. Hey, look. He doesn't want Krosky Merritt to take all his thunder because he's like, I've been here. I've been here for a while. We had 400 yards of offense, guys. We gave 200
rushing.
200 rushing.
200 rushing. And
with McNichols leading the way, by the way, 78 yards. Yeah.
We did give up 354 yards to Oakland. They didn't cash in on it.
They're not Oakland anymore.
Las Vegas.
Let's Las Vegas. Did I say Oakland? Did I say Oakland? Did I say Redskins?
That's right. You're going to say Redskins in a second.
Yeah. We both were even penalty wise. They had 6, we had 7, but both we lost 54 yards apiece.
Yeah, the penalties didn't seem as prevalent in this game.
No, they weren't. They weren't.
And I do want to stick on the offense here, and I'll talk about penalties because the O-line had a little bit of some shakeups in this game. We had 2 new starters in Chris Paul and Chris Paul and Andrew Wiley.
Andrew Wiley,
came in, and I mean, the Raiders' defensive line is not the Green Bay defensive line, but they were much quieter. In particular, our rookie tackle Andrew Wiley, Josh Conerly, who really struggled against Micah Parsons, kept Max Crosby very quiet this game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he did.
Absolutely. Got a couple of holding calls.
Yes.
Which you expect against somebody like Max Crosby. But yes, I think TQ said that was his best game so far.
That was his best game.
Frustration was all over his face. It was really a pretty sight. It was almost sad because he kept looking like, when is someone else going to help me?
Yeah. You always hear the phrase like iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
When you go against the best, you get better. And Josh Conerly has gone against 3 fantastic elite pass rushers. So you're hoping that really strengthens that player, and throwing him into the fire and letting him get beat a little bit, letting him get beat up. And then hopefully throughout the season that makes him a better player. And in this game he played very, very well. So hopefully that's cashing in.
So let me just follow up on what you're saying there. Do you think, like in those first 2 games when he was getting hammered a lot more, what would you go back to that and say maybe that was good coaching? Or would you still go say he needed help? We should have given him some help.
That Green Bay game was not good.
Yeah, I still felt like he needed some support.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
No.
But I mean,
and I think they chipped a lot more in this game. They helped.
Yeah.
Okay. They did. But sorry,
probably why he was more successful. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say he's going to have to get the experience, and he's getting it. And there's nothing better than being schooled a couple of times by some of the best end rushers in the country, right? So it's like getting a free education of I bet he took a lot of what he had with Parsons and went, when Crosby tries to hook me around my neck like that, I'm going to slip. Because I even saw a whole thing on Crosby talking about how he does his move. I'm thinking to myself, why would you tell the entire world on YouTube your secret? But it seemed like he got his number. At least he held him at bay for a while, when it mattered.
Yeah, very good. I'm glad you went over the O-line, because I think the O-line performed very well, and I knew we were working with a couple of backups in there, and I can't always come up with the names.
And
so.
we might have to talk about some O-line stuff in the future, because I don't know Brandon Coleman. I don't know what happened, to be honest.
Right.
I don't know if he was benched. People are saying that, but I'm not 100% sure. He was inactive in this game, and people said it was because of performance, and I'm not sure. I thought he was doing all right, but maybe the team's seeing something different, or the stats say something different, or the tape says something different than what we're seeing. I'm a little confused about that. So we might have some updates on him, because I was excited about him.
That's something to keep an eye on.
Brandon Coleman, our starting left guard.
He was a rookie last year.
Yeah.
Second year guy. Okay.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to talk about offense, and then I'm done with my offense, is we had a couple injuries in this game, and I think we started to sit some guys. which allowed some other dudes to step up. And I just want to say Luke McCaffrey, first touchdown in the NFL. You like to see him getting involved. And I think for Luke, the skill is there. You can see it. It's about confidence for him. And I think that's kind of thing. You know, maybe the right play is to take a knee on the one.
Right.
It's confidence for that kid. Take it into the damn end zone. You deserve it, bud. You know, like he got the 2-point conversion last week. He got a couple good catches this game, and then the long one for the touchdown. I was all over it.
Yeah, I was happy to see that too. You and I both said it at the game. Like, okay, the smart play is probably to go down before you get in the end zone. But I got no problem with him scoring that touchdown. I'm so happy for him.
To me, that iced it. That iced it.
How close was it?
That iced it.
I don't remember. How close was it, Tico?
We were kind of at the 2-minute warning, I think.
After that was the 2 minute. That was the play to get us to the because we kicked the ball up on.
But what was our lead? Our lead was what?
It was 34-24. We had
10.
Yeah. I remember saying to Eddie, "That's it. We iced it
because
we kind of let them come back
for sure. That iced it.
They scored 14 points in the fourth quarter.
So either way, you take a knee or you score. Still put it out of reach, kind of.
Pretty much.
I like the score. I like the score, and I'll tell you why I like the score better. Because sometimes at the end, if there's a tiebreaker or things like that, scores matter. You know,
that's a
scores matter.
That's a good point.
That's a good point, Tico.
Yeah,
that's a great point. I just think if you take a knee there, it's you end the game on offense.
Right.
Yeah, if something goofy doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Like we've been part of some goofiness in the past.
And there was goofiness this weekend.
I was going to say the Rams were part of some goofiness.
Yeah, the Rams, the Browns, there was some goofiness this weekend. So you're right.
So you know what I'm saying? We're not. I don't think we're so good that we can. I mean, like the Mariota run, beautiful run, then whoop.
Fumbles.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop, you know, whoop,
first turnover of the year.
Yeah. But
so the last thing I want to say on offense is I know I said that already. Is
you did. You said that already.
Last. This is the real last.
Last. People are not going to be talking about this game. This game is not going to be on people's top of mind. There's a lot of crazy games. People are going to say the Commanders beat 2 bad teams and lost to a good one.
Right.
And I'll say this, man. It pisses me off because it feels like it's always us that people are not talking about. But it's I know it's other teams, but it just feels that way. The Raiders held the New England Patriots to 13 points and the Los Angeles Chargers to 20. Justin Herbert is probably number one in the MVP conversation at this moment. 3 weeks in, he's been playing outstanding. And we put 41 on them. Like, people were talking about the Las Vegas Raiders and their improvements on defense, and we just fucking smashed them. Like, I really think that like people are going to say, oh, well, the Raiders are bad. Yeah, we made them bad. We made them look bad. They didn't play terrible in the first 2 weeks. They beat New England, who is a rising team, and they kept it close with the Chargers, who's a good team, who beat the damn Chiefs. Like, I don't know. So I just wanted to throw that in there, that the narrative of this game is that we beat a bad team, but we beat the brakes off of a team that 2 weeks ago people were saying and
we beat them on the ground, which means we controlled the line.
Yeah.
Okay,
we did.
So that's defense.
Both sides of the line.
Yeah. We ran all over them.
Yeah.
And they're a team that can stop the run, supposedly. I don't think they're strong anywhere near strong.
I'm with you too, because that's what the thing I felt good about is that it wasn't a close game. Like, you know, if we had eked out a win, great, a win's a win, you know, but this is a team you want to go, we manhandled them.
Yeah.
And
we did it without our star player, JD5.
That's right. Yeah.
So we think
it wasn't perfect, but
41 is 41.
Yep. Let's talk about the defense.
Yeah. Well,
what do you
got one thing before we leave the offense.
Oh, yeah.
Got you. Okay.
We got a 60-yarder, Jeremy McNichols.
Yeah.
60-yard play. Mariota on that. I think that fumble play, he ran 20 yards, 22 yards.
20, yeah.
Terry had a 56-yarder, and McCaffrey had a 43-yarder.
So some big chunk plays.
We had some splash plays on offense finally.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and so I wanted to emphasize that the offense was looking pretty good. It was well balanced. We had 207 passing and 201 rushing. So this thing we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks, having a balanced attack, I think we finally got that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, finally, let's move on to the defense.
So the defense.
Dad, you want to start us off?
Well, yeah, the defense also had to make some adjustments. You know, we were struggling, not struggling playing wise, struggling injury wise. I think, you know, had to make some adjustments in the secondary. As you saw that Noah Igbenogany got in there. You know, who else was it that I saw got some playing time? Because
and Percy Butler.
Percy Butler, yes, thank you. And
Jeremy Reeves.
And that's the kind of stuff that's been concerning me. Like I always felt like we've set up a nice, strong starting defense. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how deep we are. And yet, you know, again, other than that play, which I was still borderline garbage time at the end of the game. You know, they got that last touchdown. Other than that, there weren't really any big plays for there was a big play in the opening drive where we kicked the ball out of bounds, so they got it on the 40, and then boom, you know, got another 30 yards. You know, so all of a sudden they're down inside the 20 within a play. That was upsetting, but held them to a field goal. I think Marshawn Lattimore stepped up a lot more this week. That, you know, he was struggling last weekend, and we needed to see him have a strong game. Dorrance Armstrong had a strong game, but I got to give it to Payne, Daron Payne. He lived up to his name, because he was a pain for the Raiders all day long. And that defensive line in general, I think just they came away with 5 sacks, which is a good day on any Sunday. But really, I felt like they could have had 7, 8, 9. Like there was lots of times where Geno Smith did a little Geno Smith dance and got out of it, and sometimes pulled off a first down. Like he did some surprising plays when he got out of those what I thought were going to be sacks. But you know, five true sacks and 3 or 4 others that were darn near sacks, you know. So they had him running around all day, a lot of hurries. I don't know what the stats are for hurry ups. I don't think I have that one in front of me, but I think overall the rush from the defensive line helped our secondary quite a bit as well. Yeah.
And I think I want to touch on that, because there was a lot of good stuff in this game. And I think one of the things that makes me nervous, there's a couple things and we'll get to them, but one of the things is last week we didn't have that rush. And Jordan Love had all day and diced this up. I'm starting to worry that if we do not have that rush, because the Giants and the Las Vegas are kind of one of their big weak points is their O-line. If we don't have that rush, I don't know. Like we don't really know what our defense is without it. You know what I mean? What we've seen is the one game, we have a very small sample size. The one game that we weren't able to create a bunch of pressure, we got destroyed. Right. So I'm a little worried about that. Like, is our pass rush good enough to be a good O-line, or is our back end good enough to
create coverage sex?
Give the O-line time or the D-line.
The D-line,
and I think we saw a little bit of both in this game, because there was a couple times where Geno held it, scrambled, and there was nobody open.
Like you're right.
And I was like, I was impressed, you know, but I'm a little wary, and I kind of want to like.
That's kind of the point that I was going to make, is the fact that when a guy drops back to pass and he's scrambling around for his life, it's because there's no one open.
Yeah.
So we're doing our job with coverage. I don't know if we were playing man or we were playing a zone.
I saw more zone this weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna find. I'm gonna see when I watch the tape, but it's like it seemed different, Eddie. I'm with you there than last week, because last week I had some really harsh things to say about our defensive coordinator because I was confused what we were going for. And in this game, it felt like we had a decision. You know, we had a game plan.
Right. And it seemed to be a successful one because they were getting to the quarterback, and Geno is pretty mobile. He's one of those guys that can burn you. He did a couple of times, but most of the time, I think we contained him.
Yeah.
The defense, to me, the rushes were scripted pretty nice. They looked like they were coming in from angles. They were frustrating him, and they weren't letting the pocket get, blown out. They were keeping him inside for the most part. So that was good. I felt like our secondary was making some big plays. There was some stuff where they were like, I thought for sure, oh man, that's gonna be a completion. And
someone came in at the last minute.
Some of them were maybe a little premature, but that happens in every game. And we saw we were better on penalties this week too.
And this close to an interception. Who was that? Who was that batted the ball?
So we didn't talk about him. My fucking my favorite player on defense right now.
Yeah,
Trey Amos. Of course, I should have known. Yes, Trey Amos.
Man, if Will Harris didn't get in there,
right. Will Harris, you're on the same team. Don't mess it up.
I mean, he's been our best player on defense so far this season. Yeah. I might get a jersey. I'm ready to call this kid like one of our best players on defense.
We should call him Famous Amos when he makes his first catch.
There you go. There you go.
I like that name. I like it.
Eddie and the nicknames.
Well, two things come to my mind, man. We going back to Geno real quick. He only rushed for 5 yards in the whole game. Yeah. Two actual times that he rushed the ball, because a lot of times we had him bottled up and he spun out of it. But then he threw a pass.
That's right. Yeah.
And a couple times he burned us on those.
Yeah.
But actually Geno had a good day. Geno was not the reason why they lost. As a matter of fact,
I disagree.
That's why they say it's a team game. You gotta win on all three levels to really be a great team.
I disagree because I think that he was not effective in 3/4 of this game.
Right.
Well, he almost had 300 yards of passing,
and most of that came in garbage time.
He picked up a lot of it towards the end.
Well, he still picked it up. I don't like it at the end, because when we were down by 10, had we not scored again, there was still enough time for a possible 10 points to be scored. We've seen it. We saw the Cowboys last year get run a touchdown back on a kickoff, and then do an onside kick. Remember they did. They picked up. We tried to do an onside kick,
right?
And they picked it up and scooped it and beat us. So these games can get real goofy.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying that it was still garbage time. Like the fact that the games can get goofy doesn't mean it wasn't garbage time.
Well, I've just watched the WNBA game where one team is killing the other team. The other team ties it up. They go into overtime, and then the underdog team comes back. So with these penalties, with like the Terry touchdown that we said he got robbed on, that could have been a critical thing had we not scored. You know what I'm saying? So, like they say, any given Sunday, I thought Geno looked good. I thought we actually had 5 sacks in the game. So shout out to our defensive line.
Scared. I think he looked rushed. I think he wasn't making his
definitely
reads.
Rushed.
He wasn't able to play the game for most of it because he couldn't. I mean, there were drives where he went like this and then got sacked like 3 times in a row. And we haven't talked about the most impressive part of our defense. Through 3 games, we are 3rd in the NFL at rush defense. I want you guys to guess.
Booyah.
Okay. I want you guys to guess what our rush defense was last year, what we ended at.
Oh, I don't have to guess because I know 20th. I heard it earlier.
I'd say we were 30.
Worst. 31st in the NFL.
31. Pretty darn
close. 31.
Yeah.
Wow, we were that bad. Yeah. So remember last year we kept bringing up St. Juste all the time. It wasn't just him. Lattimore was getting burned when he finally came in. And the reason he came in was because the person ahead of him was not doing it. We got rid of what's the little number 13? I don't even remember his name anymore. Forbes. So I'm really overall happy with the defense.
Yeah,
Von Miller. They mentioned Von Miller's name
Miller
for the first time. He got a sack.
There was one more stat, and I thought this is the one you were going to say, Bradley, is the holding them on third down, holding them to the third down. And I believe through 3 games, we're first in the league on third down defense.
But you know what that's credit to is
and we were nothing like that
early downs.
Yes.
Because if you run 4 3 yards, it's a 3rd and 1. You know what I mean? If we're holding them to 1 yard, Genty on half of his rushes or more, I think he was met in the backfield.
Yeah.
You know, we were getting a lot of penetration, and I just credit Adam Peters for seeing our issue and helping to correct it. Even if we're not 3rd for the rest of the year, if we're top 10, if we're top 15, what we've done is made improvement in that position. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's going to put a real cushion for Jaden when he comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the problem. Jaden had to run for his life because our line was not defending him. That's why he had so many rushing yards.
I'm talking about rush defense. Our D line.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah.
But you're right as well, Eddie. I mean, you know, both two things can be true at once.
Well, and the what we talk about on offense, the run game opens up the pass game, works in reverse when you're shutting down the run game. Now it makes it that much harder for them to pass, because you're able to get more pressure on the just like we were doing on the quarterback.
Before we move on to special teams, because there is a lot to talk about in that regard, I want to talk about the other thing that's concerning me, and this goes for team wide. This isn't just defense, but I'm not hitting the panic button, but I'm hitting the I'm worried button. Injuries. We're starting to stack up. Terry is probably going to be out against the Falcons with a quad injury. Marshawn Lattimore, concussion. Those are probably usually a week to 2 weeks.
No, he cleared. Lattimore cleared concussion protocol.
He left this game with a concussion.
I know.
Okay.
But DQ said in his presser he cleared protocol.
That's really good news.
That's good news.
He played well, and who's the next guy? Jonathan Jones is on IR. I don't like the next guy. I don't even know his name. Trey Amos, my guy, left the game with a calf injury. He'll probably play.
Will Harris,
done, another guy. Maybe done for the season.
Probably.
He's on IR. He's on IR.
He's on IR. Yeah.
It doesn't mean he's done for the season on IR.
He could, but if he comes back, he has to sit out 4 games.
Yes. So he's out for at least 4 games. Yeah. He broke his fibia,
and he'll be out for longer than 4 games. But fibia,
he could be back for the playoffs. Like that's where we're at with Will Harris.
If he does a TO.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. If he doesn't get surgery, there was another guy that left this game, and then we have the ones from last game, right? Jaden, we got Noah Brown still, John Bates, we got Sam Cosmi still on PUP list. The injuries are starting to stack up, but I want to ask you guys a question: with Marcus Mariota's performance in this game, what do you think that says for Jaden against the Falcons?
If Jaden can play,
he can rest.
No,
if he needs to.
If he can play, he'll play.
Yeah, but if he needs to rest, we're in good shape.
Do you think that gives the coaching staff more of a maybe we give Jaden 1 more week of rest?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think if he's not 100% or nothing less than 100, he shouldn't go.
He's the cash cow.
I think you make that decision based solely on Jaden's progress, not how Marcus Mariota did.
Definitely.
That should not have an impact on that decision.
Right. Well, I would say in this regard, for me, it has an impact. Knowing that you have a capable backup is different than having someone you're not confident in and you feel almost forced to push Jaden in, whether he's 100% or not. This way, we can really get Jaden stable, whatever's going on with him, and not damage him like, of course, RG3 will always be, he'll be the poster boy for being damaged.
I don't have that fear with this staff. I don't think they're going to pull an RG3, put him in when he's not ready, regardless of who the backup is. I think the sense that I get, and you can see it last year with Lattimore, for example. We got Marshawn Lattimore, and we're all so anxious every week. Get him in there, get him in there, get him in there. And they took their time. They took their time. They're not going to put somebody in before they're ready. If Jaden's playing, I know he's ready.
Yeah, I think we're all saying the same thing. We're agreeing with you.
Okay, but it still sounds like you're saying
what you want, man? You want an argument, man?
It sounds like you're saying it impacts the decision. I will say having a backup quarterback makes me rest easy if he can't go. I feel a little bit better.
That's right. That's what we're saying.
But it won't impact whether he goes or not. There's no like gray area like, well, he could probably go, but you know what? Let's give him another week. I don't see a gray area.
I think there is. If it's a they put Mariota in because they're confident in him.
Yeah, we don't need a iffy. At this point, we don't need an iffy because Mariota has been that good.
I'm saying there is no iffy. For this coaching staff, it's black or white. They'll know or they'll know he's in or they'll know he's out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I talked to DQ the other day, and he told me he's going to take care of him. So.
Okay. Well, then why did we have this whole argument?
By the way, did anybody think that they should have put DQ into protocol? His head hit the back of the ground.
They should have put him in the tent.
His head did. But I do want to talk. There's that. Thanks for bringing that up because I think there is something about seeing some blood in a football game gets people hyped up. Jay cut his face in the
last year
playoff game, and the team went out and just
balled
beat
out.
Bay. Yeah. And then in this game, into halftime, it was like we kicked a big field goal and went up by 10, but what's going to happen? DQ, blood all over his face, and surprise for him. So
you could tell
something about that enhances the realism of it. Kind of like getting shot in the ear. It's like America.
Well, listen,
I think from this game forward, we're gonna play like we just got smashed in the face, and are bleeding from our nose. Like, I think that kind of set the tone for the rest of the season.
I think the perfect meme is his picture with the bloody nose, and you should see the other guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, before we have to get to next week's game, I just want to give a shout out to our special teams unit. Yeah.
I was going to say, we're not ready for next week's game because special teams was, quite likely the highlight of the game. I mean,
no question. It was a 90. So we want to know, what can Jalen Lane do?
Woo!
What can Jalen Lane do?
To Bradley's earlier point, I think we're going to see more of Jalen Lane this weekend because Terry very possibly will not play this weekend. Everybody moves up a notch, and I think we're going to see, and maybe Jalen Lane is the guy that can get behind the defense. Maybe he's got. I don't know what
he dropped it. He dropped the touchdown.
He did. He had a touchdown.
He did.
He had two.
Now, Donnie. That was in his hands, right?
Yeah, it was in his hands. It was in his hands.
Watching it live, I was like, damn, that was good defense. And watching the replay, I'm like, he should have caught that.
And that'll become routine if he gets enough playing time. When you just don't about that. The funny thing about experience is that muscle memory and being out there and having the crowd and knowing your mama's watching and knowing the country's watching. And you're thinking of all these things, and then boom, the ball's right there.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been placed any better, But
there's also, Bradley talked about it with with Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And there's that confidence level. And now he had that 90-yard touchdown. He knows what that feels like. He wants more of that, and there'll be an opportunity for him to step up this.
Also, there was offsides on that play. Can we just talk about that?
Oh, yes,
it was 3rd and 5, and there was offsides on that play.
I just want where he dropped the ball.
Throw that fucking out there because that was ridiculous.
On the defense?
Yeah.
Yes.
They came literally near the line early.
You could see it from our seats.
You could see it from our seats, and we're like, oh, there's a flag. And clocks it too because he doesn't throw that pass. He threw a fucking. He threw. You know, it's 35.
Risky pass.
He thought it was a free play.
He thought it was a free play.
He thought it was.
And I said, and I literally said, that's a pro move. While it's in the air, I was like, dang, Marcus knew. Marcus knew that was offsides. And then we you know, he doesn't catch it. It's like, oh, okay, well, at least we have the
penalty.
We look around like, what's going on? It was ridiculous. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
shout out to Jalen. He gave us 127 yards.
We talked about Debo. We talked about Debo and kick returns. He balled out.
Yeah.
And then the other side of things. Each week, I'm like, how much harder can these guys hit these people?
Oh, we were
Percy
clocking.
Butler, Vic Belore are monsters in hit. I mean, Green Bay, we didn't talk about it enough. They were smacking them dudes in the mouth. Yeah. And then this game again, those guys don't have anywhere to run. It's really impressive.
Yeah, a lot of swarming around the ball too. Yeah. Like once one guy got to the you know, boom,
gang tackling.
this whole gang tackling.
For real.
And I think that teams around the league are going to start treating a Jalen Lane like a Cordell Patterson or a
yes, I was thinking the same thing.
They're going to start kicking away from this kid.
Start kicking away from
he
him.
Is like Tigo said, 120 yards in returns this game. Like
we never. When have we had that? When have we had that? And not even last year. We haven't had that in years. I mean, Milne. Remember Milne was running punts and stuff. He would get maybe 1 yard, 2 yards, 1 yard, 2 yards. So because the punt game has not changed. No. The rules for punting has not changed.
That's right.
What changes is having a dynamic guy who can see the field after he catches it and has the speed that Lane showed. Yeah. And also Debo. But did we talk about Smith coming back?
We did not, no.
I don't know if this is I don't know what kind of move this is. Because he's bouncing around a little bit right now.
Well, Dietrich Wise went down, so they got to replace him. Right. So I don't mind the replacement.
He wasn't dressed. He was on the sideline, but he wasn't dressed. But he's a defensive end
who
really made a name for himself in Green Bay.
Yeah, and, I like Preston Smith.
Hold on,
yeah,
he's an older guy, but I like him.
I was going to say before we completely move off of special teams, because they deserve all the praise that we've been giving them.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a dark cloud on special teams.
Our kicker.
We got a field goal kicker that
3 for 6.
Can't hit the side of a barn sometimes. 3 for 6 is not cutting it in the NFL.
Yeah,
and you know, we didn't need it this week. And I said even the ones he missed last week wouldn't have made the difference in the game. But we're gonna find ourselves in a game where it makes a difference, or it comes down the wire, you know, and we need to get a field goal at the end of the game.
Okay. So here's my one thing. I'm ready to get rid of him. If they cut him tomorrow, I'd be fine. But
me too.
But shout out to the Raiders for not understanding the assignment. Because when you try to ice a kicker, it's because they're hot.
Right.
That's right.
If you ice a kicker that's hot,
it gets in his head.
It gets in his head. If you ice a kicker that's already ice cold, that's a warm-up shot.
Yeah, well, that one went right, and I've been hooking him all day.
I mean?
He got to warm up.
So what I'll say is now he has 2 over 50-yard field goals in this game. If he misses a shot next week, get rid of him. But maybe this was the game that gave him the confidence because Pete Carroll iced him out. And we'll look back on Pete Carroll icing this guy out and say, thank Pete for you know,
thanks for
electric shocking Mount getting back in.
He gave him a mulligan. You want to try it again?
He did give him a mulligan.
Get a better.
So I'm glad you brought up Preston Smith because we also signed Darnell Savage, who is a safety to kind of replace Will Harris. 2 guys that I'm not super excited about, but they're depth. And I like Preston Smith. He's a little bit older. I don't know what he has left.
Yeah,
but
I think for mid-season pickups, we did okay on both of those.
Solid, We're the oldest team, so we might not pick up more.
And the Texans just dropped CJ Gardner-Johnson. I don't know what it would take to go get him, but that's who we should go.
Why did they drop him though?
For personality issues. So which I know we don't like, but I'm like, dude, he's one of the best safeties in the league.
We need safeties. The Eagles dropped him because they didn't like the way he was in the locker room,
All
right?
I'm
And
saying
I thought
is
to
we
myself,
need
if the
safeties.
Eagles can't put up with someone's personality, I'm not sure we want him
You
around.
cut it out like a cancer.
We need safeties. We need
You got to
safeties.
get the whole tumor out in one scoop.
We
All
have a
right,
game this
let's
weekend
talk about next
against
week.
the
Yes.
Atlanta
Yes.
Falcons, who just
Yes.
came off a brutal
Ooh.
loss.
Ooh, they got embarrassed.
Yep.
Jeez.
30-0 against
30-0.
Carolina.
Who's their quarterback now? I don't even know.
Well,
It's still going to be
It's still
Michael
Penix. They
Penix.
said it's
Still
still going to be
Penix,
Penix.
yeah.
Although there was a QB change this week in division. Jackson Dart will be starting for the Giants.
I did see that.
About
for the
I
time.
Giants.
just wanted to
Everybody
throw that
wants
out
to
there.
see it.
They'll be starting who?
For the Giants.
Jackson Dart
Giants.
for the Giants.
Oh,
They
okay,
have to
okay.
start
The
him.
rookie.
Give him a
Penix
chance.
is a second year now, right?
Second year.
He's a second year now. He
Um,
came in with Jaden.
They've got
Mhm.
a guy by the name of Bijan Robinson, who is their best
Oof.
player.
Yep.
This is going to be the test
That's
for our
the test,
defensive
right?
line is Bijan. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. I'm excited to see if this defensive line is what we think
Is
they
for
are,
real. Yeah.
which is dynamic.
How's their O-line?
They're
Yeah,
one of the best in
he
the league.
went 13 for 72 yards last week against the Carolina Panthers. So they didn't really contain him.
Mm-mm.
You know, you don't usually contain Bijan, but they didn't score.
It's hard to get
They
a
didn't
rushing
score.
attack when you're down by 30. You
Right.
know,
You have
like
to go
it's
air.
you
No
gotta
question.
you gotta
No
yeah,
question.
so you know, in the first two games, Bijan balled out and looked fantastic. They also got Kyle Pitts, and
Kyle
we've been
Pitts.
struggling with tight ends, although not so much in the last game.
Mhm.
But he's a great player, and he looked like an all-star player against us last year.
And Darnell Mooney
And Darnell Mooney and Drake London are
and
their
Drake
two.
London. Those
two
are
wide
the big
receivers.
three
Yeah.
that we're gonna have to look out for. You know, if Penix does what he did this week, it should be a lot of eating for the defense.
Yeah.
That's
You know, he only threw for 172.
Yeah. And what, 2 picks and a pick six?
He had two picks,
Yeah.
one and then a
That's-
pick six. Yep.
We don't want to be
That's
that
what I'm
team
hungry
No,
for,
we
right there.
we seem to not like turnovers, so I'm not looking to turn the ball over.
This,
We're not gonna
no, this week, I'll hold it till I get to the commandments, but this week is
Do it.
is when
Let's
we
light
turn
it
it
up.
around.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right,
Go-
all right.
go
That's
for
my
your
commandment.
We're just
I
talking until we
think
get
it
the
was
commandment.
my bonus asterisk commandment last week, but I'm making it my main commandment. Thou shalt win the turnover game. I'm looking to force at least 2 turnovers. 3 would be great, and then to keep them to 1 or 0. You know, like less than that. I want to win the turnover game. I want to win the turnover
Very
battle
nice.
and have multiple, at least 2. You know, multiple forced turnovers. 3 would be better. So that's it's time. It's time. And I think if we have the injuries that we're concerned about, if JD's still out, if Terry's out, if John Bates is still out, that changes the offense a lot.
Yeah.
Setting us up with nice field position once or twice throughout this game would really be help. Or pick 6 would be splendiferous. So
Splendiferous.
All right.
Eddie, what thou shalt
Thou shalt just continue with the great special teams play. That
There you
forces
go.
the turnovers. That's
Yeah.
what happens, or it's the big play, like a big run.
It's
by a
almost
boy.
like a turnover when you
Yeah,
have a
it's
big,
almost like a
yeah.
turnover because it
Yeah.
sets the sets the tone. It shows momentum, and we have to start off again very fast and furious. I said that last week, and we did it. We did it with Debo running down
Sure
the
did.
field, first play of the game. I don't know what the hell it was like to be in that stadium, first play of the game. To see that, it must have been great, you guys, and I'm
So
jealous that I
fantastic.
wasn't there.
So
So that's what I
fantastic.
think, and that's my commandment: just fast and furious, and play great on special teams.
Got it. Bradley, what you think?
Yeah, you know, I'm going back and forth because I did want to talk about the Atlanta defense a little bit, because one of their guys, AJ Terrell, I'm a big fan of his. You know, I like the cornerbacks. AJ Terrell locked up Terry McLaurin last year, like did a really good job on him. And he's a good corner. I think he matches up well with Terry specifically. He's not, you know, I think he's one of the best in the league, but he does have people, you know, he has the ability to be beat. And I'm curious who that is on our team. It might be someone like a Jalen Lane, who's kind of a smaller speedster. But we'll see. They also got James Pierce Jr., a rookie out of Tennessee, edge rusher. and Leonard Floyd, edge rusher. Those are two guys that we have to be worried about off the edge. Other than that, gentlemen, their defense does not scare me. They don't. I think,
how are they against the run? Are they good against the run?
So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I think that's going to be my commandment. I want to go with Trey Amos because that's my guy, and I want keep your eye on Trey Amos. That's my asterisk, and then my commandment is thou shalt pound the rock with our 3 number 1 running backs, Bill, Rodriguez, and McNichols, and watch them just feast like they did against the Raiders. That's my
commandment. Right on.
Love it.
Three amigos.
And for me, I was going to ask you, Bradley, what you think about Xavier Watts and Caden Ellis on the defense?
On the defense, those are two, and Jesse Bates. Those are 2, 3 solid players in this league. Xavier Watts is great. Caden Ellis. I'm kind of Xavier Watts is a rookie out of Notre Dame, and he was a high selection. I think he was round 2.
2 as in second round, you mean?
Second round, yeah. Jesse Bates has long been one of the best safeties in the league. He's kind of an older player. I guess he's only 28. He's not that old. Their defense it's Bijan and Kyle Pitts and Drake London to a lesser degree. I honestly think, again, when we talk about matchups, I think Marshawn can lock up Drake London. Marshawn gets screwed with the smaller, speedier guys. The big guys, Marshawn's physical. AJ Brown, I know he beat him up pretty good, but like the Jalen Reed last week with kind of coming across Marshawn's doesn't do well when he's running for a long time. He does well when he's getting physical, and Drake London is a physical receiver, and Drake London is and Marshawn's a physical corner. I think that he matches up well with Drake London. I think, and then on the other side, I think Amos matches up well with Darnell Mooney because he's a little bit quicker, So I'm really worried about.
We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay.
All right. Sorry, I'm rambling now.
So thou shalt score more than 30 points, and my prediction is Washington 30-14.
I like it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We're all pulling for the W because that's a safe assumption.
I think my heart is telling me we're gonna win this game. I'm really worried about injuries, guys.
Yeah.
I really
don't worry.
It's the thing that could. I
think
scales, I suppose.
Here's what I think. I think we win, but I think it's gonna be a rough game to watch. Especially if Terry's out, especially if some of these guys who are on the fringe don't play. We played well, but if we have one of these other corners come in, or some of these safeties that we don't really are question marks, we got beat in the, like Tico said, in garbage time, we had guys in who were garbage time players and we were getting smoked.
Right.
That concerns me.
Right.
It concerns me. So
I'm not worried about the injuries. I'll just say my injury piece. I don't think there's an issue with the injuries. To me, if you're going to get hurt early in the season. Just get healthy and get better for the end of the season.
This is the part of the season where the schedule. I'm going to say feels like it only gets tougher from here. So I'm with you on that, Eddie.
For the year, though, that's at the beginning of the year.
Yes, we have lost 3 for the year.
Is
and a lot of other teams are dealing with the same. So that's the key to success: is how do you have those number 2s come in and not drop off?
Eddie, what's your prediction?
My prediction for what? The score?
Or the game?
Oh, I said win. I did one of these.
Okay, and Donnie, and so okay. So
we're all doing
you know what, fellas? We had a good week. I'm hoping we have another good week in Commanders Nation and here on Command West. Why don't you take us home, Bradley? It's time for us to get out of here. We overstayed our welcome just a little bit.
Just a little.
We want to thank everybody out there. Thank you, guys.
Shout out to my family back east. We had a great time this weekend.
DMV,
that's a wrap for this week's episode of Command West. We hope you had just as much fun listening as we did bringing you the latest and the greatest on the Burgundy and Gold. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that like button, and tune in next week. Peace.
See ya.